Hi guys. Alright, so CKLA Unit 6, Lesson 6. So we're already on Lesson 6, and that's, I think, the halfway point for this unit. I think there's only 12 lessons, so we're moving through this really quickly. Hopefully you've been keeping up with the videos. If not, hopefully you're getting caught up to the videos, and I hope they've been helpful for you. I'd love to know who's watching the videos, so if you want to, you can comment down below. Let me know who you are. I just see that people are viewing it, but I don't know who you are or in whose class you are, if you're my student, Miss Ball's student, or Miss Sanders' student. So I'd love to know. This is going to be a very quick lesson. So let's get it out of the way so you can go and do the rest of your stuff, right? Like reading and doing writing prompts and math lessons and iReady and Prodigy and Newsella and whatever else you feel like doing today for schoolwork. So, lesson 6 is on page 98. Okay, and this page and this page are the entire lesson. That's all of it. Oh, don't look at that. That's a secret. Spoiler alert. Okay, so this is the whole lesson. That's it. That's all of it. That's it. This is ta-da. Because look, on next page, lesson 7, okay? It's only 98 and 99. Sorry, you couldn't see either of those. 98 and 99, okay? But we are writing about what we talked about in the last lesson. So we're gonna need to refresh our memories, unless you just watched the video for lesson 5, in which case you don't need a refresher, but I'm gonna go back anyway to page 94 and 95. Ouch. I have a cat scratching me. Please don't. I'm trying to teach kids. Thanks. Okay. On page 94 and 95 over here, remember, this is where you started planning your own story. Okay, your own story of aspirations and goals. So, remember, you could have made a story about you and your real life goals, or you could have made up a character and made up goals for them, okay? So hopefully you thought of a character. This could be your name right here or your made up character. And you should have already filled out your character's goals, what they want in life, what are their big ideas for what they want to do with their lives. And the setting is also very important, okay? Basically just these two. If you have these two, you're good to go for this lesson, okay? The stuff on this side of the page we'll get to, but mostly I need to know who you're writing about, what are their big goals, and where does the story take place, okay? This writing that we're doing today for lesson 6 is just the first chapter. So we're just writing the first chapter of your story, and really the first chapter should just introduce this stuff, okay? We need to figure out who is your character in a lot of detail. So I don't want to just know that your character's name is Billy and he has hair. Great. What color hair? How tall is he? How old is he? What's his family like? What is he, everything he looks like, all the details. Does he have a backpack? Is his shirt red? Every single detail about Billy. And I want to know exactly what he wants in life. What does Billy want to do? Does he want to be a soccer player? Does he want to go to college? Does he want to have a job? Does he want to have a family? Okay, does he want to fly to the moon? Whatever he wants, okay? And where does the story take place? So the setting, where and when. Most of these are probably going to be like present tense, or maybe they're in the past if you want to write a story like historical fiction, or it can be in the future. However you want to, whenever, I guess, not however, whenever you want to write your story. But I need to know a lot of details about your place, okay, the setting. I don't want to just know that, you know, he's at his house. Okay, what does his house look like? Where exactly is it? Is he in Alaska? Is he in Ohio, right? If you know what that looks like, I guess. Don't pick a place that you can't write a lot of details about it. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Luna. Luna is trying to do CKLA lessons. Hi. Hi, girl. Okay. Okay, she's just gonna hang out there, I guess. Okay, so this is really what I need to know for your first chapter. If you don't have all of this written down, if you don't have these details, you know, set, if you're not happy with these details and you need to go back and change some things to make it a little more specific, or maybe you just, you know, didn't have a great idea during lesson 5 to write down, now you need to do this, okay? So this is the important part. This is all the extra stuff that you can include in your chapter 1, your first chapter, but this is really what needs to be in chapter 1. So if in your first chapter you want your character to meet somebody else, you need to fill out this part. Sensory details, that's, you know, everything they saw, heard, touched, smelled, tasted. So all the details that make your story interesting, okay? Dialogue, so what did the people talk about if your person met somebody? How did they feel, and how does this link towards their aspirations? And figurative language. So if you would like to, since it's optional, include a metaphor or a simile. Okay, like he was as nice as a pile of kittens. Whatever. Okay, so when you have this done, definitely this, but hopefully some of this too, because that was part of lesson 5. You should already have this done. Then you can go back to page 98 and 99. So on 98, it says, in the space below, write the first chapter of your story of aspiration. Okay, remember, aspirations are goals. They're wants in life. So to make a story interesting, you can't just have a story about a person who, you know, just kind of bebops around, does their own thing. Like, they have to want something. There has to be an obstacle to their want. There has to be a resolution where they eventually get past that obstacle, and then hopefully they get what they want out of life, right? I think we talked a lot about these story elements during Unit 2 when we were writing our historical fiction about the guy, or girl, I guess, the character that lived in the desert. Remember, we wrote those stories a long time ago, it feels like now. But we talked about all those things back then, okay? So this is just for the first chapter. So I'm going to write a couple bullet points. You don't have to write these down, though, because this is your story space. This is just what you need to include. You need to introduce your character. Okay, not like, hi, my name is Billy. You could say, there once was a boy named Billy, and he blah, 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 blah. Okay, so introduce your character. Then you need to describe your character. So using all the details you can, picture your character in your mind, or if it's you, obviously, describe yourself. What do you look like? What is your personality like? Okay, and I'm gonna say sub-bullet here. That's gonna be your character's physical description and personality. Description. Okay, so what does your character look like? What is your character's personality like? What do they act like? Okay. Introduce character's aspirations. Okay, so there once was a boy named Billy, and he looked like blah, 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 and he acted like blah, 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 blah. He wanted more than anything in life to own a dog. Maybe that was his aspiration in life. That's his big goal, okay? So tell me what he wants. What is, right here, this box, the goal that your person wants, okay? And then describe the setting. So where is your story taking place? In lots and lots of details, like in the vignettes that we've read so far about the house on Mango Street. we know like every little detail about that house, okay? So lots of details about your setting. These are the things that you need to include in your first chapter. So you have this whole page because you did not write this down, or if you did, you wrote it on scratch paper or a sticky note, or maybe you wrote it at the top of the page because you didn't hear me say it. Don't erase it now, that's a waste of time. But use the rest of the space to write your first chapter. And then if you get down here and you're still like describing your person, or if you're still describing their aspirations and you haven't gotten to even the setting yet, that's fine, because this is like the poetry journal where the back of the book is all blank pages for you to do writing. Okay, so that creative space, that extra writing, starts on page 192. Okay, so there's a ton of pages here in the back, like lots of pages. Like 30 pages back here that are all blank for you to write more. Okay, so if you can't fit your first chapter on these pages, and that's understandable because these pages are like way smaller than a normal piece of paper. So if you can't fit it here, there's more pages on 192. That's where you need to continue writing your story, okay? Thankfully, I'm at the end of this lesson because I'm pretty sure my cat just caught a mouse and I need to go handle that. So, good luck. Next time we check back in for lesson 7, I want to know how your stories went. And we'll be continuing these stories. We'll add to these. And if you finish these 2 pages, if you finish your chapter, read it to someone in your household, okay? Pick a family member, have them read it, or you can read it out loud to them, but read them your chapter and then ask them, do you know my character? Do you know what they want in life? Do you know the setting? Okay, they should be able to answer all those questions if you did good writing here, if you did all these things in good detail. Okay, I apparently need to go clean up a dead mouse. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye!